Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of Plato's Crito, and I got up last time to this section here, which is in the numbering system. It's 49C11, and in the chapter system it's second half of chapter 10. I did this in two bits because it's fairly long and fairly difficult in places. So Plato continues now to sort of lay down the ground rules with Crito before he continues on with his argument. So, uti ara anta dikain de uti kakos poien udina anthropon, ud an hoti un pasque hup auton. So, nor is it necessary, I'm going to translate this ant adikain, rather than just to do wrong in retaliation. I'm just going to translate this as to retaliate. It means to do an injustice in response to something that's happened, so I'm going to say retaliate. So, nor is it necessary then to retaliate uti, not even if, nor, now poien kakos, to do badly, so to treat badly, udena, none of mankind. Greek has double negatives which don't cancel, so nor must one retaliate, nor treat badly any man, literally anyone of mankind, nor so it's something like even if, so not even if he might suffer anything whatsoever for the hoti un hup auton at their hands. Al hora o Criton, tauta kath homologon, hopos me paradoxan homologes. Now, we've seen this hora before. It means beware or be careful or look carefully, O Criton, that having agreed to these things, that if you have agreed to these things, it's almost lest having agreed to these things, that you do not agree to something which is paradoxan, contrary to your own opinion. So look, O Criton, lest agreeing to with these things, that you do not agree, lest you do not concur or agree with something which is contrary to your own opinion. Paradoxon. Oida ga hoti oligois tisitauta kai doke kai doxe. Hois, I'll just do that bit first, for I know that these things both seem good and will seem good, oligois tisi, to a certain few. So I know that these things right and will seem right to a certain few. Hois un huto dedoctai kai hois me, tutus uk esti koine boule, ala ananke tutus elelon, kataphonen horontas elelon ta bulumata. For to those whom it has seemed good in this way, and to those for whom it has not, for them there is no common counsel. That's literally there. Paraphrase it a little bit to say there is no common ground between those to whom these things have been decided thus, seemed right, to whom these things seem right, or seem correct, and for those to whom they do not. but it is necessary for them, kataphronio is to despise one another when they are looking at the, well, considerations or deliberations, perhaps better, looking at the deliberations of one another. Now, in other words, some people will agree to what we've just said, some will not, and they tend to despise each other whenever they look at the deliberations of one another. Scope Dei un kai su mala poteron koinoses kai sundoke soi kai arkomatha entuthen bilio omenoi hos udepoti orthos kontos utitu adikain utitu ant adikain uti kakos pasconta amunestai antidronta kakos a aphistasai kai uk koinoses tes arches. Another long sentence here. So look then, therefore, you also then, look carefully, we might say, look well, look carefully, look very carefully, and then we get Potter on here, and the A is all the way down here. So you then look very carefully as to whether koinones, you share, understand this opinion, and that you are that it seems good to you, well, along with me. So you look carefully then whether you share this opinion, and it is agreed by you, and in that case understood, let us make a beginning, hortatory subjunctive here, let us make a beginning from that point to making deliberations, so in our deliberations. So to agree that udepoti never, now we've got hos plus a genitive participle here, and it's echo, which with an adverb is like the verb to be. So it's like a kind of genitive absolute here. So that never, so it is never right, and then Greek has double negative, so it's got neither, but we would say either. So it is never right either to do wrong, nor, or to retaliate, nor if one is suffering badly, to amunesthai in the middle, to defend oneself, even when suffering badly, by taking retaliation. So badly to take retaliation, to do ill in return, perhaps here for the antidronta. So to do ill in return. So he's saying, see whether you agree with all that. So see whether you share, understand this opinion, and it is in agreement with you. And then let us begin from there, making our deliberations, that it is never right, it is never never good conduct, orthos, it is never right either to do wrong, nor to retaliate, nor, when suffering badly, to retaliate by doing wrong in return. So do you agree with all of that? Or do you aphistasai, or whether you are opposed, literally whether you revolt from this or stand away from it. So whether you are opposed to this and you do not share tes arches, literally this beginning, this starting point in our discussion. So that's a little bit tricky there. So, so do you agree with this, or do you disagree? Are you opposed to this? This is a verb often used in the sense of to revolt from something. So, do you find this revolting, and you do not share this starting point in our discussion? Emoi men ga kai palai huto kai nun eti doke soi di e pe ale dedoctai lege kai didaske. For it seems good to me, or this seems to be right in this way, both long ago and still now. So in other words, for in my opinion, it was long ago agreed, it was long ago seemed to be the right thing, and still does, but if it seems good soy to you, the pay is indefinite in some other way. So if we agreed if in some way we agreed on something different is the sense of it, speak and explain it, teach me. But if MNS you hold, literally you remain in, so if you remain in those agreements, pros there, the former agreements, so if you hold the former agreements, here, top meta tuto, what comes after this? Crito now replies, al emeno tekai sundoke moi ala lege. But I hold them, and sundoke, it is an agreement with me. So in other words, we are in agreement. Come, speak. Sokrates replies, lego de autometa tuto, malon de roto, poteron ha antis homologese, to dikaya onta poietion a ex apothetion. Another question. So I indeed will speak, I will moreover indeed speak what comes after this, but rather eroto I will ask questions. So this is the usual Socratic method. He will ask questions and leading questions to move the argument in his direction. So but rather I will ask questions. We get another potter on A. So whether that which someone has agreed. Now the toe here is, notice there's no accent on this. This is that indefinite toe for tinny. So in respect of the things which someone has agreed with someone else, and then this is parenthetical, things which are just. So as long as it is just, must these be done, or must one practice deception? From ex apatao is the verb to deceive. You get apate, deception. This is ex. This is a very much stronger form, ex apatao, to practice deception. So this little bit here then means, so must one do, provided they're just, the things which someone has agreed with someone else, or must one practice deception? And Crito says, poieteon, well, no, they must be done. And that is the end of this section. This is the end then of chapter 10.